Could it be that a fleeting moment, just a few seconds easily missed, actually holds the biggest secret behind a grand stage witnessed by thousands? Or could the quiet presence of someone arriving without the spotlight be the very trigger of emotions that even a global superstar cannot hide? These questions suddenly shook fans when a surprising truth began to surface from behind the dazzling concert of Kim TAE's Arirang World Tour. And even more intriguingly, one unexpected reaction from Jungkook only deepened the growing curiosity that refused to fade. Goyang, April 12th, 2026. That night was never meant to be just another concert. Thousands of ARMY filled the venue with high expectations, ready to witness a spectacular performance from an artist known for his unmatched charisma. But beneath the roaring cheers, the blinding lights, and the thunderous music, something moved in silence. Something unannounced, unscheduled, and unnoticed by most of the audience. That figure was Park Hayesin, a name deeply respected in the Korean music industry, a legendary vocalist whose emotional depth is often considered unmatched. His presence was far from ordinary. He arrived quietly, without official announcement, without a grand welcome, without even drawing immediate attention. And that is precisely what made it shocking. Why would an artist of Park Hayesin's stature choose to attend in silence? What was he truly there to witness? And why did his presence only come to light after several peculiar moments unfolded on stage? According to several witnesses in the VIP section, Park Hayesin entered the venue discreetly, dressed simply, wearing a cap that partially concealed his face. He didn't choose the most prominent seat, but rather a position that allowed him to remain unnoticed. Still, the sharp eyes of devoted fans eventually caught on. Photos began circulating quietly on social media, igniting waves of speculation that spread rapidly. But the real shock was not merely his presence. The true turning point came from the subtle yet undeniable shift in expression from someone known for maintaining composure under any circumstance. Jungkook, who was also present around the concert area that night, displayed an unusual reaction upon realizing who was in the audience. Several short clips showed Jungkook suddenly going still, his gaze changing, his movements momentarily losing rhythm. To some, it might seem insignificant, but to longtime fans who have followed BTS for years, even the smallest shift in Jungkook's behavior carries weight, especially when it happens unexpectedly, without context. Did Jungkook already know Park Hayesin would be there? Or was this a genuine surprise? Even for him, these questions began to surface, deepening the mystery surrounding that night. Meanwhile, Kim TAE delivered a stunning performance. He commanded the stage with confidence, pouring deep emotion into every note, as if each song carried a hidden story. Yet, some observers noticed something different. There were moments when Taeyong seemed to glance toward a specific direction in the audience, as though he was aware of someone important watching him. Was that gaze directed at Park Hayesin? If so, then their connection might go beyond a simple professional relationship between musicians. It could be something deeper, more personal, more emotionally layered than what has ever been shown publicly. Park Hayesin himself is known for rarely appearing at public events without meaningful reason. He is not the type of artist who attends merely for formal support. His presence always carries weight. And in this context, his attendance at Taeyong's concert seemed to hold a message, one that has yet to be fully understood. Behind the stage, the atmosphere was said to be warmer, yet more intense. Some staff members hinted at a brief private meeting between Taeyong and Park Hayesin after the main performance ended. The meeting reportedly took place away from cameras, but it was enough to spark speculation about a significant conversation. Could this be related to a future musical collaboration? Or was it something more personal being rekindled between them? At the same time, Jungkook's reaction continued to draw attention. After the initial moment of surprise, he appeared to regain composure. Still, many fans speculated that his reaction carried more than simple shock. Some interpreted it as emotional overwhelm, others as something deeper, perhaps even unspoken tension. The dynamic between Jungkook, Taeyong, and their close circle has always been a subject of fascination. Every interaction, every glance, every pause can be interpreted in countless ways. And that night, all those elements seemed to converge into one moment filled with unanswered questions. What made the situation even more compelling was how fans and media began piecing together every fragment of information. Photos, short videos, eyewitness accounts, even facial expression analysis. Everything was examined in an attempt to uncover the truth. Yet, the more details emerged, the clearer it became that something was still missing. Was this simply a coincidence amplified by fan imagination? Or was there indeed a bigger story deliberately hidden behind the scenes? One thing is certain. The presence of Park Hayesin at Kim TAE's concert was no ordinary occurrence. And the reaction of Jungkook only added another layer to a mystery that continues to intrigue everyone. The night may have ended, the stage lights dimmed, and the audience returned home. But the story that unfolded has only just begun. A story filled with emotion, surprise, and lingering questions. And yet, as the echoes of that night continued to ripple across social media and fan communities, a deeper layer of intrigue began to take shape. One that no longer revolved solely around who was present, but why everything felt so carefully unsaid. Could it be that the most important moments of that evening were never meant to be seen directly, but only felt through fragments, glances, and silence? In the hours following the concert, clips began resurfacing with sharper scrutiny. Fans slowed down videos frame by frame, analyzing even the slightest movements. In one particular moment, Kim TAE pauses between verses, his expression softening in a way that feels almost too personal for a performance of that scale. His gaze drifts, just briefly, toward a dimly lit section of the audience. It lasts less than 2 seconds, but something about it feels intentional, not accidental, not random, because what followed was even more unexpected. Taehyung's vocal tone during the next segment subtly shifted. It wasn't a mistake, nor a crack in performance, but rather a deepening, as if emotion had suddenly been layered into every lyric. Those who attended described it as different from the rehearsal recordings, more raw, even almost trembling with something unspoken. It was the kind of shift that only happens when something internal changes in real time. Backstage whispers only fueled the growing speculation. A staff member, speaking anonymously, hinted that Taehyung had received unexpected news shortly before stepping on stage. The nature of that news was never disclosed, but its timing raised eyebrows. Could it have been connected to Park Hayesin's arrival? Or was there an entirely separate narrative unfolding behind the curtains that the public had yet to even imagine? Meanwhile, Jungkook's reaction continued to dominate conversations. The initial stillness seen in circulating clips was only the beginning. In another angle, one that surfaced hours later, Jungkook appears to take a step back, his posture tightening as if caught between surprise and restraint. His lips part slightly, as though he is about to say something, but then he doesn't. Instead, he looks away. For someone known for his openness with fans, even under pressure, that single act felt out of character. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't exaggerated, but it was real enough to spark endless theories. Some believed it was simple shock. Others suggested it hinted at a deeper awareness. Perhaps Jungkook understood something about the situation that the public did not. A brief, nearly invisible interaction caught on a distant camera angle showed what appeared to be a subtle acknowledgement between Jungkook and someone seated in the VIP section. The figure was partially obscured, but many were convinced it was none other than Park Hayesin. There was no wave, no overt gesture, just a small nod, almost imperceptible, but in a night filled with silence and hidden meaning, even a nod felt significant. What could pass between two artists in such a minimal exchange? Respect? Recognition? Or something far more layered? Something tied to history, influence, or even shared emotional ground? The narrative grew even more complex when older interviews began resurfacing. Years ago, Kim TAE had openly expressed admiration for Park Hayesin, describing his voice as something that can move a person without explanation. At the time, it was seen as a simple statement of respect from a junior artist to a senior. But now, in light of what had unfolded, those words felt heavier, almost prophetic. Was this meeting a long-awaited moment between inspiration and artist? Or was it something more personal that had been kept away from the public eye? Backstage, the tension reportedly shifted into something quieter, more introspective. While no official footage was released,